MRN Crew Call on MRN.com is presented by MoneyLion, the world's most powerful financial membership. MoneyLion, here we roar. And also brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Good morning and happy hump day, of course. Welcome to MRN Crew Call presented by MoneyLion. I am your host, Rocko Williams, and I have the pleasure. I'm bringing you three individuals from Roush Fenway Racing. We have Raphael Diaz on the end, front tire changer, or rear tire changer for Ryan Newman. We have Eric Wallace, beast mode tire carrier. And we have pit maestro himself, Adam Lewis, the one with all the gas. He's a bit gassy. The fueler for number 6. So excited to have y'all in today to talk with us and actually to teach. I would say teach, but to learn them. That's how I say it here. We're going to learn them about what you boys are doing over there at Roush Fenway Racing. Coming off of a rain-delayed Firekeepers Casino 400 out there in Michigan, Monday at 5 p.m. I mean, thank you for coming on, guys. How was it out there?
It was interesting racing at 5 on Monday. Like, we just don't do that, you know?
Yeah, I know. When I was watching the race, I saw that. I was like, okay, it's delayed. I saw the rain, and I was just expecting the typical, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. start time. I saw 5 p.m. I was like, oh, that's different.
Yeah, I mean, you just lay around in the hotel, wait to get your late checkout, and then just kind of mosey on over to the racetrack. It's weird.
It was always tough. I think I lost my mic. It was always tough for me on rain delays sometimes because you were so hyped up on that race day. And then when it's delayed, you're sitting around the track all day. Sometimes you had an idea that you were going to get in. Sometimes there was no chance. Going into Michigan, when y'all walked into the garage, did you think you had a chance to race, or y'all were like, oh, no, this isn't going to happen?
Man, it's the Great Lakes. You don't know. 1 minute it's raining, next minute it's sun's shining, so you just don't know.
What about you, Raph?
I was ready.
You were ready
for Sunday, but I thought we were going in racing, but you never know with that weather.
You don't race. You raced on Monday. You finished 8th. In a nutshell, I mean, was it a hard fought 8th, or was it one of those like at the end of the day it was like, man, we're in 8th place? I mean, what was that like?
Man, that Michigan race was ran a lot like a speedway.
Yeah.
We took 2 tires, fuel only a lot. It was track position. Where were you at? We got good track position, got up there, and we were able to keep it. So that it was basically speedway racing, if you ask me.
See, and it's interesting you talk like that. You talk like a racer, Eric. And there's a reason for that because you are the only racer here. Am I correct by saying that? Raphael, do you race cars? Adam, you race cars?
I've always been a mechanic. So
tell me about that, Eric. How did that come about, your racing career, and how did that how did you get to where you are now?
Yeah, so if you look down pit road, 90% of the people are probably former athletes, football players, wrestlers, baseball players.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a little different background. I'm from Texas, and my family raced their whole life, both sides of my family, my mom's, my dad's. My family owns a dirt track in Texas as we speak now.
Really? What's the name of that track?
Cotton Bowl Speedway.
And your family owns that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's in your blood.
Oh, yeah. So I was born a racer.
Okay.
I raced my whole life. My sister races. When I got to high school, get ready to get out of high school, and I said, "Man, you got to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
We can't afford to keep you racing. To do the big times." And I'm like, "Man, what am I going to do? I ain't never done nothing but race."
Mm-hmm.
So I found a school that was involved racing a little bit. That was in Georgia, and went there for about a year. And they interned me up into the Richard Petty driving school, and I worked as a mechanic there for about a year. And I met a guy that knew somebody at Roush Fenway, and lied my way in there as a fabricator.
You just lied my way in there.
I was more of a mechanic, but I told him I was a fabricator. Got in there, and I worked in the fab shop. Didn't know nothing about pit crews, carrying tires, didn't know anything. And the guy kept telling me, "Man, you should go out there and practice carrying tires. You're a pretty big guy."
What year was this?
2007.
Yeah, right on the cusp of that. The athletes coming in in volumes.
Yeah, yeah. So I went out there and he showed me a little bit, and I practiced, and I just practiced. I didn't go to one of the pit schools or anything like that. I just went out there and did it on my own, and did a couple tryouts and failed at it. Got pissed off, wanted to quit because I thought I was good, but I wasn't.
Here we
So
we've all been there.
Oh yeah. So back then you didn't have development guys or backup teams or anything. So we were at the Charlotte 600 back in I think it was 09. I was doing the sign for Greg Biffle. And Tony Stewart ran over the rear carrier, and they had nobody to replace him. So they called me in.
Ran over the rear carrier. He did. He gone.
He gone.
Simple as that. That's the life we live as pit crew members. Hey, what happened to the rear tire carrier? Oh, he gone. He got ran over. So in goes you.
Yep. So they threw me in, and I'm like, me? I've never even been over the wall before. So that's from that time started my career. I did the next 10 races for Greg Biffle. So I never did any trucks, ARCA cars, or anything. I went straight to Cup and been there ever since.
13 years later.
Yeah.
And your Greg Biffle boy, he had a bag that he was sporting. He won that truck race out there. He had some dough in that briefcase, right?
He did. He had some points to prove.
Anyways, Adam, real quick before we go to break, and we want to talk to you as well, Raph, as how you got into this. How did you get into this?
Oh, man. Well, about I think it was around 96. My family moved to North Carolina. As far back as I can remember, my family just loved watching racing. My dad said he's going to move down here and get a job.
From
Maryland.
Okay.
And so he moved down and got a job. I think it was with Active Motorsports back in the day. And it kind of took off from there. Got to the end of high school and was like, what are you going to do? You going to go get a job or are you going to go to college? I'm like, man, all I know is racing. So let's do it. Picked up first jack and off I went.
Did your dad have a beard like you?
No.
So when you moved, do you have to pack for you and your beard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a whole separate bag to take with me. Yeah.
Look, we're not going to forget about you, Raph. I want to talk to you how you got in because you have a special story as well. Thank y'all for tuning in to MRN Crew Call, presented by MoneyLion. We'll be right back with Roush Fenway, number 6 pit crew.
Did you know that banks collected over $15 billion in unnecessary bank fees last year? Come on, enough is enough. It's time we took back control of our finances. That's why MoneyLion is proud to bring you the Financial Crew Chief and to be a NASCAR sponsor. Look, no one knows more about hard work and pursuing their dreams than NASCAR fans, drivers, and teams. So we want to bring you the kind of banking that the big banks would never build, with features like zero-fee checking and zero-fee investment accounts. And because life is also meant for a join, with MoneyLion, NASCAR fans get even more. We're giving away 1,500 NASCAR tickets to our members this year. Plus, you can get 5% cash back on NASCAR tickets, at-track purchases, and all purchases at NASCAR.com. Learn more at MoneyLion.com or download our app. This is America's most powerful financial membership. MoneyLion. Here we roar.
Here's your chance to win a set of your very own Hercules tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Simply register, and each month we'll give away one set of tires. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading mileage coverage to get you wherever you need to go, no matter where the road takes you. Register now for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires at HerculesTires.com/MRN. Hercules Tires. Ride on our street.
Set of shoes, gas you up, but you better not cruise. I'm in the pits where the drivers
That's
Yada,
Yada, ain't it?
And we're back. We're in the pits. We're in the pits with the Newman Boys. How's that for a nickname? They didn't have a nickname, so I gave them a nickname. The Newman Boys. Is that cool?
Yeah, we're still fresh, so we're looking for a name.
Okay, we'll see if that sticks. I'll have another one in a few minutes. Anyways, Raph, I want to talk to you. How did you get in this sport? Where were you from? How did you get in this sport?
Well, I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay.
And pretty much moved to North Carolina when I was 3 or 4 years old and raced, here in North Carolina. And
You raced in North Carolina?
yeah, I was pretty much grew up my whole life in, Raleigh-Durham area.
Oh, I thought you said you raced.
No.
Oh, okay. No, I was like, oh, you were a racer?
No,
I just
but,
asked you that.
I've always played soccer. I was very,
Yep.
on the athletic side, and all my life it was soccer. I've always like, race cars and automobiles and the automotive industry. And so when I graduated from high school, I decided to come over here, Charlotte, and pursue, get into NASCAR. I don't know what I was gonna do, but just I had different aspirations as a soccer player, and kind of ended up on an injury, when I was
I did
very
read
young.
about your injury that you had.
So at that age, kind of, you're trying to go pro, and 16, 17 years old, you already got to be at that level. And and I was in crunches and I had a big cast on my leg, and it just broke my heart. And I had to pick a different path of my life, and I chose NASCAR. I just moved here, went to school, NTI. I was originally wanted to be an engine builder and just build engines. That's what that was a passion that I had on, as far as engines. And kind of, did all my courses 2 years straight, and just met people on the last couple of weeks that knew Coach Phil Horton when I did for the program. So they said, why don't you give it a try since you play soccer, you've been athletic all your life. And so I gave it a shot, and kind of got stuck with it. Coach Horton said, well, you're going to be a tire changer. You pretty quick on your feet, and kind of just been doing it since then.
Yep.
And,
well, let me take over that story, Raphael. Yes, you represent a small population in the sport as a Hispanic athlete in the sport. And once you started in the Drive for Diversity Pit Crew Development Program, you have been the most successful Hispanic crew member we have ever had. You were the first to win a National Series championship, as well as the first to win a race for all of the recruits and graduates from the NASCAR Drive for Diversity Pit Crew Development Program. So, your picture is big on the wall at Rev Racing. So they all those up-and-coming tire changers, they all want to be like you at some point.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you saying that. I don't really see myself as that. Like, I don't really go back and remember everything I've done, but now that you mentioned
it is what it
kinda
is.
looks,
It is what it is. You did it, and you're doing it. I think your first race you won was with Carl Edwards, right?
Yeah, that was Sonoma in 2014 here with my buddy
You too,
Eric Wally.
Yeah. That was crazy when he won that. Just under the circumstances that he won it, and I remember that vividly. But aside of that, and all the successes that you guys have had, with our sport, there's we enjoy it. We are performers. We are. Are rock stars in our own might because we're asked to do extraordinary things, at a high level. Yeah. But at the same time, we can't do this forever.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our MoneyLion financial crew chief. I want to talk to you guys about some of the things that you are doing and preparing yourself for life after the pits. And I would like all of y'all to touch on this a little bit, starting with you, Adam. What are some of the things that you do or that you're planning for your life after pit stops?
Oh, man, after pit stops. I'm probably going to be a shop guy.
Yep.
Because that's the other part of my job now is I'm the brake guy over at Roush.
So when you say you're the brake guy at Roush, for those who don't know the intricacies of the race team, what does that mean? What are you responsible for?
Calipers, pads, rotors. That's what I do. Rebuild calipers every week, put together new rotors.
So when that brake pedal is spongy at the track or...
Oh, that's not good. Let's not talk about that.
They're looking at you, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's interesting. That's a lot of responsibility, too, especially on the higher levels of of these teams, of the race teams. It's just there's so much at stake for those small, little things that you have to checklist.
It is, man. It is.
I would not want to be in your position.
No, that's a little stressful, especially around short track road course time.
And then managing that and managing all the stress with the pit crew, that's your dying breed. You don't see too many athletes over the wall that are actively hands on the car as well.
Yeah, there's
anymore.
Just a handful of us left, man.
All right, well, you should be proud about that, man. You have some big, wide shoulders. What about you, Eric?
Man, I think about it all the time, what I could do or what do, Like I said, I've always been around racing, so I would say a shop guy, but I always thought, it'd be cool in my second life to own a gym or something.
Really?
So I've been kind of looking at that the last year or so, maybe owning a gym or something.
And do you have any experience in doing that? Are you looking at in this area or?
No, just when I started doing carrying tires and stuff, I just got so involved in the, the training part of it that it just I grew to a liking to it. So
and let me ask you this: when you were a driver, and as far as your physical appearance, did you have to make any adjustments to adapt to the role as a tire carrier, going from driver to tire carrier? What were some of those differences?
I had to beef up a little bit.
Yeah.
I had to eat a lot of food.
Yeah, especially with 5-man stop, I can imagine, because that beast mode tire carrier, you guys are dropping the tire off, right?
Yeah.
So, you got to be beast mode with that. That's what I coined that phrase. You have tire carriers, and you have beast mode tire carriers. And those beast mode tire carriers, they're the ones that can drop that tire off.
Yeah,
So
that
not everybody can do that.
No, a lot of people don't realize that's 150 pounds you're carrying around that car.
And running in full stride. And then when those changers drop that tire and it falls over and you're running in full stride with a tire in your hand, you have to pick that bad boy up.
Yeah, I've cussed him once or twice.
Yeah, I bet you have.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
Right. Besides getting cussed out for having those tires fall on the ground, what are you looking at, as far as life after pit crew?
Life after pit crew, right now, kind of starting part-time as far as on construction.
Okay.
That's kind of like what I like. I like building, a wall or a house or building, whatever. I like to build things. And
If you build it.
Come on. And that's part of from my after pit pit stops, something that I kind of I'm focusing on doing. And
so you're pretty much taking those bags, all those stacks of money you're making every week, and just stuffing it underneath your bed, right?
A little bit,
A
little bit. I have a couple investments on properties also, that kind of, like, property buildings and all that. I'm kind of into it, and who never knows? Maybe go recruit some Spanish people, bring them into NASCAR. Maybe that'll work out.
You can go on the road with me. You can go on the road with me, so I don't have to bring out my translator on my app.
Oh, we'll make a good team
when I talk to the Spanish athletes.
We can do it.
I learned from Dora. Dora tells me everything I need to know. Backpack.
Adam has a Dora.
Yeah, we all have kids. Well, I have kids. Adam, you have kids? Adam?
Yeah, 2-year-old daughter.
Exactly. So we know about Dora. You might not, young blood. Anyway, let me ask you this. What is the one thing that you splurge yourself on, that you spend your money on, that you probably know that you could cut back a little bit, your one vice with your money? And now let me hear from all of y'all. What is the one thing you spend your money on the most? Selfishly. Irresponsibly. What is your one vice?
Race cars.
Race cars for you, Eric?
We all know those are expensive.
Yeah, those are. How many cars do you have?
Just one now.
Yeah. And can you call it a race car?
Yeah, it's a race car.
Oh, I saw it that you built in the garage. It was nice.
I've been trying to run it 5 times now, and it's rained. We got rained out 5 times this year, so.
Wow.
It's hard to run because we travel so much, so it's hard to race. So my sister runs it sometimes, and then when I can, I try to run it, but rain's killed us.
And you built it from the scratch up.
Yeah, we built it from the ground up.
That's your baby.
Yeah.
And your sister helped you.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think I could work with my siblings like that.
No.
It'll end up looking like a stroller. What about you, Adam?
Oh, man.
What is your thing besides Maestro's beard food? Beard food.
Let's see. Well, I got a bunch of stuff going on, man. I love shooting guns.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know you've seen that on
I've
Instagram.
seen that. I know when the purge happens, I'm coming to your house.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you have.
He's got ammo stacked in the walls.
You might have double digits. You might have double digits in guns.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Yeah, that, and then I'm renovating my house right now.
Okay.
So I've got a old historic home in Statesville that I'm doing, and it's I don't really cut back on that at all.
That's
Just
awesome.
go full throttle with that. So.
Okay, cool. All right, Raph, coming back to you. What do you spend your money on, man?
I'll say tools. Tools. I don't know the tools, construction tools.
If you build it, they will come.
They'll do it. Yeah, man. I like buying all kinds of tools just to have something that you can use and create money, or they always help having tools available on your side.
All right, I'm going to come check out that toolbox in the garage one day. Look, we have Roush Fenway here representing the number 6 car driven by Ryan Newman. I just wanted to remind y'all, Hercules Tires is giving away a free set of tires every month. All you have to do is register by going to www.herculestire.com/MRN to register. And you could possibly win a free set of tires every single month. That's going on Hercules Tires. And we'll be right back with these 3 ballers in a minute. MRN Crew Call.
At the Goddard School, teachers customize lessons so children can explore their interests, have fun, and learn the skills they need for success in school and beyond. From infant sign language to pre-K students tackling STEAM learning, our Flex Learning Program or Fun Learning Experience is grounded in research that shows the most genuine learning occurs when children are having fun. Our teachers leverage this through lessons inspired by children's imaginations. To enroll, visit GoddardSchool.com. The Goddard School, learning for fun, learning for life.
MRN's Classic Races.
Labonte gets crossed up. Labonte goes around. Dale Earnhardt now watches Labonte spun across the line and got the win.
Spanning 50 years of NASCAR racing.
Barney Hall. There's a beautiful afternoon here in Daytona Beach, and the action will be fast and furious.
Legendary voices, legendary races.
Daryl, simply, what happened?
I just hope he chokes on that 200,000. That's all I can tell him.
MRN's Classic Races, available on MRN.com, iTunes, and your favorite podcast providers.
He did touch.
No, he knocked the hell out of me.
Hi, this is Mike Backley. Join me and the rest of the MRN crew every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. We'll get you up to date with the latest news stories and ready for the upcoming race weekend.
That's what it boils down to. You know, anything can happen in between, and we've seen it the last few years, kind of how crazy things can get.
Hear exclusive interviews, expert analysis, and much more.
Wheel that thing, brother, wheel it! That's why you never give up, guys. Never give up.
It's NASCAR Live this Tuesday night at 7 Eastern on the Motor Racing Network.
Getting Schooled is presented by the Goddard School, the best childhood preparation for social and academic success. Visit GoddardSchool.com for more information. The Goddard School, learning for fun, learning for life. And all my kids go to the Goddard School. I told y'all that. You know, you got a 2-year-old in there. You might need to holler at me later on. Might put you up on your little 2-year-old. Is homeschooled or she stays at home? You have her in daycare?
She's at home.
Okay, yeah. Might have to look at that. We might need to carpool a little bit to daycare maybe.
Okay, yeah. All right. I hear you.
Hey, we're getting schooled here, guys. And Raphael, straight from Drive for Diversity Pit Crew, you've been at Roush.
Yes.
Eric, straight from racing, you've been at Roush.
Yep.
You know, and Adam, you've had a little bit different path. You've been on different race teams.
Yep.
And I wanted to talk about that a little bit because a lot of our listeners, you can add to the ones that are on teams now. How do you stay on those teams for as long as y'all have consistently, especially in our sport? Because you know how job security is with us and pit crew members. I mean, to be on one team for 10 plus years says a lot. At the same time, Adam wanted to talk about transitioning from other race teams, you know, going from different teams. There's a lot of little intricacies that are involved there.
Yeah.
You have to play the game well. So starting off with our tenured veterans, you know, talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you've done personally that has, created that longevity for you at Roush Fenway, for both of y'all.
I would say hard work pays off. You know, you always gotta keep working hard, getting better, looking at details. You know, never settle for just a normal race day. You know, a normal stop. You always gotta strive and get better. I mean, there's always something that you're gonna pick out of a pit stop that you could have done better.
Mm-hmm.
And it, I always have that in my mind that as I was, strive for better and never be content with your performance.
And you worked full time there as well, right? In starting out at Roush, what were your responsibilities?
I started at Roush, from the very bottom pit stop area.
Mm-hmm.
Then
you
move
were
up
pit
to
support.
Then move on. It's on the shop, and pit crew. Move up, parts room, and couple years ago, I was in the carbon shop for 3 years, building carbon fiber, and kind of 2 years ago, just kind of quit that, kind of went part time.
So all those extra carbon fiber parts, you probably got doorknobs that are carbon fiber, refrigerator handles. Because I know our carbon fiber shop back in the day, when those extra pieces, I mean, you had extra time on your hand, you were getting pretty creative with those pieces.
Yeah. I wish I could have had some, but not. We were always busy, wide open, just trying to catch up, building parts, and never had any extra time to get any extra. But yeah, I was work hard in the shop and off the shop. I was being busy.
You were hard working. What about you, Eric? What do you think? What contributed to that longevity at Roush?
Kind of like what Ralph said, just working hard. I'm a big fan of loyalty. I've always worked hard for them, and they've always taken care of me. Even through the hard times and the good times, we've always stayed together. So I always say I'm a lifer. When they shut down, I'll still have sweeping the floors there.
I like that. and I'm sure they respect that, at the same time. And I say that because a lot of us, we travel to different teams. We'll have bad races. And like I said, you will get benched.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. We're a performance-based sport, and we are performers. So if you don't perform, you will get benched. So for you to start on a consistent basis for an upper-tier team says a lot, not only to your work ethic, but to whatever you have internally that's different from the rest. You know what I'm saying? What about you, Adam, with you, Roush has not always been where you were.
Nope,
Tell me about that.
Nope. This is my second season at Roush. I moved over from RCR.
Okay.
I was with Newman over there. I was his jackman on the 31 for 5 seasons, I think it was.
So tell me this before. I have to ask you. So you were with Newman prior to Newman coming to Roush. When he was, you came to Roush first, correct?
Yeah.
So then when he came over, was there anything like, hey, that's my man right there or whatever, or not so much?
I was just kind of like, man, why you following me around?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, yeah, just was over there and just kind of things were changing at RCR.
Mhm.
And the team I was with, we kind of were getting split up a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I'll just try something different. I'm just going to go over here to Roush.
But what do you mean? How do you just say, I'm going to try something different and I'm just going to go over here to Roush? You just show up at the front door?
No. No.
Or do you create relationships, or how does that work? Or were they scouting you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
There were some guys over there that I knew.
Okay.
And I knew they were looking for some people.
Okay.
And so I kind of touched base with them, and was like, hey, I'm looking to make a move here. Are you guys needing anybody? And they're like, yeah, we've been kind of eyeballing you a little bit at the racetrack, So it just kind of all worked out.
And you were a jackman for prior.
Yep.
And you're fueling now. You're still a jackman as well.
Yep.
So you're doing both.
Still
You're
jackman.
fueling Ryan Newman's.
Yep.
And you're jacking.
The 52 truck was Stuart Friesen.
Okay, with Stuart Friesen.
Yep.
Okay, well, cool.
Yep.
And what about you? Are y'all doing any other satellite teams, Xfinity or a truck series or anything like that?
No, last year we did a lot, but this year our top tier teams, the 17 and the 6, they try to keep us from not doing so much to try to
focused.
keep our longevity through the whole year, keep us focused and less injuries.
And taking care of their product.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Especially this 5-man.
Yeah,
Pit
5-man
stops
put so much toll on us.
A lot of wear and tear on your body.
You know what? You say that, and let's talk about that 5-man pit stop. 5 crew pit stop. There are some females out here as well, but at the same time, going from 6 to 5, it created challenges specifically for the tire changes and the tire carriers. When y'all are on pit road, at the same time, you haven't been running top 5 every single week. You finished top 10 this week. You have made a lot of progress coming up. When you're on pit road, how do you view yourselves compared to the other teams that are consistently up there top 5? Do you walk with your chest high? Do you kind of hang out in the shadows? I mean, how do you feel? What is that vibe like at the racetrack when you're pitted around the Gibbs teams, the Penske teams, the Hendrick teams, or whatever? Or is there any difference at all?
No, I feel like we're just as good as they are. We just got to execute, and we'll be just as good as they are. Whether we're running 25th or we're running 3rd, we try to do every pit stop the same. Just stay, focused and do our part of our job.
How did that feel running in that top 10 this past week? You say you do everything the same, but it's got to feel a little bit different, a little bit more exciting to the fact that, you're competing with those top tier cars, right?
Yeah, see, I love pressure, so when we get up in there, I always come to Ralph and say, we're pitted with the big boys. Here we go.
Yeah.
Who was pitted behind it, and do y'all remember from Michigan, who was in front and behind y'all in the pit box this week?
I don't remember who was in front of us. I know Suarez was, we had an opening in, and then Suarez.
42
was in front of us.
Yeah,
Larson?
Yes.
Let me ask you, as far as it relates to your individual responsibilities, what are some pros and cons to your game? Some of your strengths and weaknesses, I should say. Some things that you might want to improve on, if any, and some of the things that you're proud of that you do really well as it relates to jacking, changing, or tire carrying. I'll start with you as in fueling.
Man.
Fueling and jacking, since you're a dual threat.
Yeah, fueling's kind of tough, man, because we're limited to what we can do. We can't go pull tires or anything, any of that cool stuff anymore. Yeah. But as far as jacking goes, just being more consistent with carrying tires, because I never carried tires until last year when the rule changed.
And how tall are you?
6'4".
So you're 6'4". You're right on that cusp of getting there low. So
you
got to really get down there.
Those
little short guys like me, we're ideal to get in there. But, when it comes to jacking, I wish I had that height. So, you have to kind of find that body composition that, is the right height and the right flexibility to carry and the right amount of strength.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You must have that. Well, good for you. Beast mode tire carrier? Tell me what you're good and bad at.
I've always prided myself on consistency. I've never been one of those that throw those 50s, but I've always
do they really throw 50s?
If you ask him, they do.
Come on now.
If I ever throw a 50, though, Ralph's yelling at me.
Yeah, because you're probably leaving him, or it's probably bouncing off the back of the plate, right?
Yeah. So I always try to paint that pretty picture for the changers and be solid and consistent for them. So that's what I work on every week and take pride in.
You know who pays the bills for you. As a tire carrier, a happy tire changer, happy life.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you keep the tire changers happy.
Yeah.
They'll vouch for you, right? Yeah. What about you, Raph?
I'll say, on my part, mainly, trying to close that window in the right rear. What
do you mean by that?
Taking the tire off.
Okay.
And
he puts the tire on and going back on. Okay.
Just, as a team effort, just try to spit that up always. Starting on the right side. That's where you gain your time. And just be smooth on the left side. So
are y'all the fastest combination at Roush?
Man, a funny story is every time they take me and Ralph off away from each other, we're just average. They put us together.
Y'all have that spark.
They call us Batman and Robin.
Oh, that's awesome.
that was from that came from the greatest quarterback at Appalachian State, Richie Williams.
Richie Williams. Shout out to Richie Williams. He was a Crew Call guest as well a few weeks ago. So, anyways, I don't know if y'all know. Y'all should know by now. We have Ryan Newman's pit crew in the house from the number 6. Who are we missing today? We're missing Dylan Moser and who else? Chris
Schumann.
Chris Schumann. Hey, wish y'all were here, guys, but stick around because we are announcing our Clutch Performers of the Week, and I really feel like these guys in the studio might have an idea of who's going to win. We'll be right back. MRN Crew Call.
What's up? Vaughn Gittin Jr. here. How would you like the keys to a 700 horsepower custom-built Ford Mustang RTR designed by none other than NASCAR champ Joey Logano, the RTR design team, and me? It's one of 3 Mustangs you could win in the MoneyLion Here We Roar sweepstakes. How do you enter? Just text ROAR to 95615 or visit roarsweepstakes.moneylion.com.
No purchase necessary. Instant 2019. Must be 18 or older. For official sweepstake rules, visit roarsweepstakes.moneylion.com.
Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina is redefining the drive-thru coffee game in Race City, USA. The Clutch experience is fast, friendly, and delicious. Quality drinks and unmatched customer service is the name of the game. Clutch Coffee Bar offers signature lattes and mochas, custom flavor-infused energy drinks, smoothies, and more. Over 25 flavors, there's something for everyone. Visit our 2 locations in Mooresville, 356 Williamson Road and 154 West Plaza Drive. Open daily from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Power up today with Clutch Coffee Bar.
On July 6th, gather your family and friends for summer's biggest celebration, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. Experience a weekend of excitement with racing under the lights and celebrate Independence Day with patriotic tributes and the region's largest fireworks display over the infield at Daytona. The Coke Zero Sugar 400 will be a celebration to remember. Adult tickets start at $49, kids $20. Lock in your seats at 1-800-PIT-SHOP or DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
And we're back. My producer only gave me Kenyatta one time today. I'm upset about that. But anyways, we're back with my most important, the most favorite part of the show, our Clutch Coffee Performers of the Week. And I have the pleasure of presenting this award to the number 6 crew of Roush Fenway Racing, driven by Ryan Newman. These gentlemen right now, well, 3 of the 5 gentlemen are with us right now, and we're missing Dylan Schumann. Dylan Moser. Dylan Moser, Chris Schumann, and then we, of course, you know Adam Lewis, Eric Wallace, and Raphael Diaz. Congratulations, guys, this week for your performance at Michigan in the rain-delayed Firekeepers 400 out there in Michigan, and your 8th place finish. When you finished in the top 10 like that, there's constant pressure of maintaining pit position. So for y'all to be able to do that under those circumstances says a lot, and Dylan and Chris aren't here to represent. Anything you want to say on behalf of those guys? What part do they play on the race day and as far as your preparation every week?
Man, Moser, he's just a straight up animal. Like, we have to back him down. He doesn't realize how strong he is and how fast he is. Mm-hmm. I tell him all the time, man, your 80% is better than most people's 100. Mm-hmm. So. But and then Schumann, he's just a heck of a tire changer, real consistent and solid. How
many years has he been in the game? Y'all know?
He's been at Roush for 3 years, and I think he's been in the game for about 6 or 7.
Okay, yeah. So he's fairly new.
Amazing hand speed.
Really?
Yeah,
that's his thing. He's the hand speed guy.
Yeah, he's got the hand speed.
He's faster than you, Raph?
Maybe sometimes.
Sometimes.
Maybe sometimes we just gotta be clean.
Oh, I just got a tweet. I just got a message here from a Pedro Martinez. He was like, "What is Ralph doing on the show?" Oh man, I just lost my signal. Anyways, we'll go back to that. Guys, performing on a constant week. What do you? I forgot to mention, going into an off weekend, real quick in closing. Do you have any plans this off weekend?
No off weekends for me. I'm
like
flying to Madison on Friday, pitting the ARCA car Friday night, and then I'm going to drive over to Cedar Rapids and get a hotel room, and then pit the truck on Saturday.
There are no off weekends. I like it.
No such thing.
I like it. Eric, what are you doing?
Man, we don't get to do much around the house or anything, or we travel so much, so spend time with the family and catch up on the honeydew list.
I know that's right. Get that done.
Same thing here.
Yeah,
I'll be working on that farm on top of the tractor.
Really?
On the next couple of days. Yeah,
on the tractor.
Should have been a cowboy.
Should have been a cowboy.
You sure you're not meeting up with Pedro later on? I will be at the track soon, and I'm hyping this up now. They don't know what we're talking about, but you know.
I like it.
Hey, look, we have an off weekend this weekend. Then we're coming back to Sonoma. I appreciate you guys coming on the show, representing from Roush Fenway. Keep doing what y'all doing, balling out on them teams up there. It's just a matter of time when y'all be in that top 10 on a consistent basis.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
We appreciate y'all. MRN Crew Call, Newman Boys.